Hello everyone, back tuning in to Snowwatch. So winds are going to be turning into the east from tomorrow. And this easterly could be quite a cold wind that's going to be blowing through the second half of the week and into the weekend. And it will be bringing a risk of some wintry conditions with it. Now, exactly where those wintry conditions are going to be is quite uncertain. It's still a little way off in terms of when we have the greatest risk of snow, which I think will be at the weekend, probably particularly Saturday and into Sunday. So that's all outside the high resolution time frame. Before that, we're really just looking at snow flurries, I think, down the eastern coast under sort of grey leaden skies and maybe a few heavier snow showers on the east coast itself, but generally just snow flurries through Thursday and Friday, and then things perhaps pepping up a bit with precipitation over the weekend. This doesn't look like a very snowy scenario, I have to say that. It's not sort of a classic easterly that we're producing here. But there will be some wintry conditions to be had with this easterly. And we'll try and pin down at least the rough areas anyway, where we can expect those easterly winds to be producing the snow showers. And because they're easterly winds, the greatest risk of snow will probably be in the east and the northeast. But I'll show you the detail in a second. Before I get on with that, just say about the ads, just link to articles on the page, have a browse, which is click through the links. You're going to help us make the website. Thanks very much for doing that. And just to say that today's first video is on the homepage. You can have a look at that if you would like to. It covers going through the rest of February and even into March as well. So you can have a look at that if you'd like to do that. Right, let's get on with Snowwatch then. And these are the facts charts from the UK Met Office. This is the human interpretation of the models by the forecasters at the Met Office. So this is for midday tomorrow, where you see we've got these little fronts where we've got an occlusion right way through the country, and they've got a little cold front coming onto the east coast. Now this occlusion is what brought the rain across most parts of the country yesterday, and also been lingering on in the northeast through today. That's being pushed back westwards across the country. It's no more than a band of cloud and drizzle, really, through the course of tomorrow. This cold front might be producing snow flurries on the east side. It's really on the eastern side of this occlusion that cold air is digging in. So this cold front here will be very weak, but it could be producing a few snow flurries down the eastern coast. As we move through into, so this is taking us through into Thursday, we find that we're in a proper easterly wind then. Winds are coming in from quite a long way east, actually, following the ice bars back. The air's going back into the east of Europe. That's going to be bringing bitterly cold air in across the country for Thursday. Into Friday, we keep those easterly winds going. There's no real fronts within this, so nothing to pep up the precipitation. Just going to drag in a lot of cloud and probably light snow flurries down the eastern coast. Maybe with a bit of moisture on the east coast itself, there could be some slightly heavier precipitation, but generally just a few snow flurries and just a lot of cloud moving in. Then we go through to weekend though, and you see that for Saturday we're starting to get a little convergence line appearing there in the North Sea. There's also a cold front that's over Denmark that could push its way through the North Sea on those easterly winds, and there's a little occlusion there towards north of Scotland. So generally things are getting a little bit more active in terms of those zones through the course of Saturday, and this peps up the chance of precipitation then as we go from Saturday and into Sunday. Particularly I think this cold front here that's across Denmark, if that can get in towards the North Sea, for eastern counties that might produce something quite heavy in terms of precipitation. So this all starts really tonight. Just have a quick look at the high resolution Euro 4 model at website Weather Online. So this is that occluded front, the first one I showed you on the facts chart that gave us all the wet weather yesterday. For 6 o'clock in the morning, tomorrow morning, that's still there through eastern Scotland down through northern England. The suggestion is mostly rain, some snow over the hills of eastern Scotland, mostly light rain and drizzle. There might be a little bit more sleet and snow in that than the model is suggesting, particularly places like the Pennines and North York Moors, those sort of areas. There might be a little bit more sleet or snow than this is suggesting, but again I don't think it'll be anything all that significant. We go through into Wednesday morning and just lots of patchy bits and pieces of rain and drizzle here in the east. Again, there could be a few flakes of snow mixed in, but I don't think it'll amount to too much. And into the afternoon, most of that is fizzling out as the drier air starts to push in from the east with those cold easterly winds. And this is as far as we can go with Euro 4. As I say, the real interesting period is the weekend, and that's outside the time frame of these high-res models. So as far as we can go is 6 o'clock in the morning, where again we've got a few snow flurries now coming onto the eastern side. Those could be snow showers closer to the east coast, inland, probably just snow flurries. So up to Thursday morning, nothing all that exciting is going on. Beyond that, as I say, we've got to look at the weekend. So this is the GFS for Thursday, bringing in those cold easterly winds as we go through into Friday. The wind is in from the east. It's going to be a bitter wind that's blowing. If you follow the isobars back, the air's coming quite a long way east across Eastern Europe. So those winds will pack a punch. Now into Saturday, we find this kink in the isobars developing. A bit of a elongation in the isobars is indicating that some sort of disturbance is coming over the North Sea. That could be the cold front that I showed you on the facts chart that was across Denmark for Saturday. That could be coming into the North Sea. If it does, it could enhance the shower risk through the course of Saturday. This is how things are looking as we go through into midday on Saturday. Again, you see the isobars are elongating there. Definitely some sort of disturbance is moving on to the east side within those easterly winds. Into Sunday, and it's staying cold. Winds still in from the east, but you notice that across France, we're beginning to pull in more of a southerly southeasterly, and that starts to pull up milder air then into the start of next week. So it looks like this cold period is really just running from tomorrow, Wednesday, through to Sunday, and then it'll start to turn milder early next week. Upper air temperatures look like this. For Thursday, bitterly cold air is moving in across the country, so you've got -10 isotherm there coming onto the east coast. That does look significantly cold, and that's across the country for Friday. Friday could well be the coldest day, with temperatures really struggling to get above freezing, I would have thought, with that -10 isotherm there across most parts of the country. It'll be a very grey day as well, probably. So cold, very cold and gloomy, with snow flurries likely on Friday. Saturday, the upper air temperatures aren't quite as cold, but they're still cold enough for snow, and there will be more precipitation about on Saturday and into Sunday as well. It still looks cold, particularly so for the north. Notice the upper air temperatures beginning to turn milder across France as we start to pull the air out of the central Mediterranean, and then those milder upper air temperatures flood across the country as we go through into Monday. So that's quite a big change on what the GFS was doing yesterday, certainly curtailing this cold spell or cold snap much more quickly tonight on this latest run of the GFS. So the all-important precipitation charts. There's the snow flurries down the eastern coast for Thursday, not amounting to too much, but could be a few snowflakes in the wind. That continues into Friday as well. Maybe a little bit more widespread with precipitation for eastern Scotland on Friday. And again, just the suggestion that I've got snow flurries almost anywhere under a lot of cloud, maybe snow showers, which might give temporary dustings of snow towards the east coast. We move through into Saturday. This is where the precipitation begins to get going a little bit more. So coming into northeastern England and southeast Scotland, we have got quite a heavy area of precipitation moving out of the North Sea. That will be producing snow up towards the northeast. And then through Saturday morning, you see that snow is being predicted to get fairly widespread, actually, coming into eastern Scotland, through northern England, down in towards the Midlands. Anywhere there could be getting a covering of snow on Saturday morning. It's a long way off, so it might be downgraded, but conversely it could be upgraded a little bit. We go through into Saturday afternoon, and there's still precipitation there across eastern Scotland, northern England, down in towards the Midlands in particular. So again, anywhere in that area through the central swathe of the country could be getting a dusting of snow. Further south and southeast, again, nothing particularly showing up, although there is a heavier area of precipitation heading towards East Anglia there. Remember, it's all a very long way off, however, to to be trying to pinpoint exact areas of sleet and snow. Sunday sees, again, potentially quite significant precipitation there for eastern Scotland, northeast England. By that point, I would have thought there'd be a fairly deepish covering across some parts of eastern Scotland and northeast England, particularly over high ground, but perhaps not exclusively so. So quite a wintry weekend for the northeast. Elsewhere, not much going on. And then as we go through into Monday, then we start to introduce that milder air from the south. So this is rain pushing into the southwest on Monday morning. Just have a look at the precipitation type forecast from the weatheroutlook.com. Finally, again, this is all based on the GFS because it's all outside the time frame of those high-res models for the time being. We're starting off right now, Tuesday evening. We've got a little bit of hill snow across Scotland, otherwise not much going on. Into Wednesday morning, yes, there is some wintry weather there through Scotland and northeastern parts of England. That's that decaying occlusion. Maybe a little bit more significant than the Euro 4 was going for there tomorrow morning. I don't think it'll amount to too much, but I suppose over the high ground, east of Scotland, into parts of Cumbria, into parts of Northumberland, I should say, and down into Yorkshire, we might get a bit of a dusting of snow over the highest of the ground. Into Wednesday afternoon, and those snow flurries tend to ease off. They push westwards and southwards, little bits and pieces of rain, nothing particularly exciting going on there. That's the easterly wind coming in, man, as we go through into Thursday. So you notice everything's coming in from the east now, and we've still got a lot of cloud across the country. This is suggesting loads of cloud, really, and that could be producing little snow flurries, snow grains almost anywhere. But it's down the east coast that we have the moisture to produce potentially actual snow showers. Into Friday, the wind's still coming in from the east, and again, snow flurries are definitely possible under a lot of cloud during the course of Friday. Again, there could be more general snow showers, not general snow, but sort of organised snow showers close to the east coast of northeastern England in particular. And then into Saturday, that's when things start getting a little bit more interesting, with a more general area of precipitation indicated by those blue colours pushing through the North Sea onto the eastern side at 6 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. And then as that spreads inland and meets the cold air, it starts to produce snow. This is forecasting actual snow here from east and southeast Scotland down through northern England and particularly in towards the Midlands. So snow possible there through the course of Saturday morning. It looks quite light, but possibly enough to produce a dusting of snow. Maybe even a covering over high ground. Something like Buxton could get a covering of snow on Saturday morning. And then things look like they're getting more widespread into Saturday afternoon. So Saturday could be a fairly wintry-ish day, albeit the precipitation is fairly light. It's nothing all that significant, but probably enough to be producing a dusting of snow, especially over high ground. We move through into Saturday evening, and snow showers continue there, particularly for eastern Scotland and down into northeast England. Elsewhere, probably more sort of snow flurries further south. And then into Sunday, again, the suggestion is really first eastern, southeast Scotland and down into northeastern parts of England, where we've got some snow being signalled there. Things are easing off further south. And then as we go through into Sunday night and Monday, we start to drag up milder air from the south, pushing up from the south with all the snow easing off, and any precipitation that does fall down in the southwest likely to be rain. So we're not talking about anything significant. We're not talking about foot of snow out of the gale force easterly wind and temperatures of around -5 all day. It's not February 1991. It's not January 1987. It's not the depths of severe winter cold and snow. Nevertheless, it's quite a cold easterly that's getting going. Temperatures will be struggling to get above freezing through Thursday, and particularly, I think, on Friday. And snow flurries really starting tonight and tomorrow morning, actually, in the northeast, and then continuing through the rest of the working week. Saturday looks like it could be the most wintry day, with the risk of snow, particularly through parts of eastern Scotland, down through northeast England into the Midlands, possibly Lincolnshire and East Anglia as well. Maybe a few flurries elsewhere. Nothing severe in terms of snow, but enough to produce a dusting here and there, and maybe a covering over high ground in the north. Beyond that, probably the snow risk becoming more restricted to the northeast of England and eastern Scotland as things begin to turn milder, getting through into the start of next week. Caveat being, all of that for the weekend is outside the high-res time frame, so obviously we're going to have a bit of a health warning about this until around Thursday, when Saturday will be in the time frame of the high-resolution model. So there'll be another snow watch, I would have thought, on Thursday as we begin to look at high-resolution models and maybe pin things down in terms of detail a little bit more. Right, that's all for now. Thanks for watching.